Around this evening's campfire, with the flames curling like old memories and the night air carrying the scent of pine and possibility, I find myself turning over a question that tugs at the heartstrings more than most. What if pets lived as long as humans? Not a few extra years, not some miracle serum taken, just the same natural lifespan we enjoy. A dog born the day you are could still be padding alongside you at 80. A cat curled on your lap at 20 could still be purring there at 90. Sometimes the simplest changes cast the longest shadows, don't they? Let's sit a while and see what kind of world that would be. It begins the way all the best stories do, with a puppy. You're 8 years old, birthday morning, and there he is. A scruffy two-tone corgi mix with one ear up and one ear down, eyes like polished chestnuts. You name him Scout, because he's already looks like he's planning adventures. Your parents exchange that knowing glance. The one that says this dog will be with you longer than childhood, longer than school, longer than first heartbreaks and university, and maybe even your first grey hair. 70-odd years stretch ahead for both of you, two lives braided together from the start. Childhood with Scout is everything you'd imagine, only stretched luxuriously long. He's there for every scraped knee and secret fort, every Christmas morning and summer holiday. He learns to ride in the basket of your bicycle when you're 10, graduates to trotting beside it when you're 15. You teach him ridiculous tricks, rolling over on command, fetching the newspaper, playing dead with theatrical flair. And he teaches you patience, loyalty, the art of living utterly in the moment. When you leave for university at 18, Scout is still only 10 in dog years, barely middle-aged, his muzzle just beginning to frost. You come home every holiday to the same enthusiastic greeting, the same thumping tail that never learned the meaning of restraint. Your 20s arrive in a blur of first jobs and first flats. Scout moves with you, of course. He learns the new routes, claims the new sofa, growls at the new boyfriends or girlfriends until he decides they're worthy. When you bring your first serious partner home, Scout gives them the long, appraising stare, and then flops dramatically at their feet, offering his belly in surrender. Approval granted. He's there for the engagements, the weddings, the moves across cities or countries. By the time you're 30, Scout's coat has silvered, but his eyes are bright, his gait only a touch slower. The vet calls him remarkable for his age, but you know the truth. He's simply keeping pace with you. The 30s and 40s are the golden stretch. Scout becomes the family's living room legend. He's there when the babies arrive, gentle as snowfall with tiny fingers clutching his fur, patient when toddlers use him as a pony. He learns the new house rules, the school runs, the weekend football matches in the park. Children grow from crawling to walking to running. And Scout is always in every photograph, aging in dignified parallel. By the time your youngest starts secondary school, Scout is technically 60 in dog years, but he still chases the odd squirrel with the enthusiasm of a pup. His muzzle is snow white now, his hips a little stiff in winter, but the vet just shrugs and says, "He's the healthiest old dog I've ever seen." The 50s bring the first real ache of time. Scout's hearing fades, then his eyesight. Cataracts cloud those chestnut eyes, but he still knows your footsteps from a room away, still leans his full weight against your leg when he wants fuss. Arthritis settles in his joints like an unwelcome tenant, but he refuses the doggy wheelchair with quiet dignity, preferring to potter at his own pace. You install ramps, buy orthopedic beds, learn the gentle art of carrying a 45-pound dog upstairs when pride finally gives way. Your children, now teenagers themselves, take turns walking him, reading to him, whispering secrets into ears that can't quite hear anymore, but somehow still understand. The 60s are quieter. Scout spends more time sleeping in sunbeams, but when he wakes, the tail still thumps, the eyes still brighten. He's there for the grandchildren's first visits, great-grandpups in his mind, letting sticky fingers explore his ears with the patience of a saint. You catch him sometimes, staring out the window at nothing, and you wonder what 70 years of memories look like from the inside of a dog's head. Does he remember the puppy who chased his own tail until he fell over dizzy? The teenager who cried into his fur after a broken heart? The father who came home smelling of hospital the day the first baby was born? You hope he does. You hope it was all worth it for him too. The 70s creep in with silver hair and reading glasses, for both of you. Scout's world shrinks to the garden and the living room rug, but it's enough. He still insists on the daily walk, even if it's only to the end of the drive and back. You sit together on the porch in the evenings, his head heavy on your knee, watching the same sunsets you've watched for 6 decades. Your grandchildren, now teenagers themselves, bring their own dogs to visit, young whippersnappers who exhaust him in 5 minutes flat. He tolerates them with the weary indulgence of an elder statesman. And then, one ordinary autumn morning, when you're 81 and Scout is 81 in dog years too, you wake up and he's not at the foot of the bed. You find him in his favourite sunbeam, curled as if asleep, gone quietly in the night. The house feels suddenly cavernous. The silence where his tags used to jingle is deafening. The funeral is small but perfect. The whole family gathers, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, even a few of the dogs Scout mentored over the decades. We bury him under the old oak where he used to chase squirrels when squirrels were still worth chasing. Someone reads a poem. Someone else tells the story of the time Scout ate an entire birthday cake and looked guilty for approximately 3 seconds. There's laughter through tears, the best kind. In this world, pet grief isn't the sharp, sudden stab it is today. It's a long, slow exhale that's been building for 70 years. We don't lose them at 12 or 15, hearts broken, while we're still young enough to feel immortal. We lose them when we're old, when we've had a lifetime together, when the parting feels less like theft and more like the natural end of a very long, very good story. But here's the part that catches in the throat. In this world, every childhood dog becomes a lifetime dog. Every stray that wandered into your yard stays for decades. Shelters empty because people know they're signing up for 70 years, not 10. Breeders shift to health and temperament over looks, because who wants 70 years with a badly behaved spaniel? Veterinary medicine leaps forward. Hip replacements, cancer treatments, dementia, care for dogs who've earned every extra day. We become different people, I think. Kinder, maybe. More present. Because when your dog will still be there when your hair turns white, you learn early that love isn't measured in years borrowed, but in moments shared. You don't put off the long walk for tomorrow, because tomorrow stretches out like an endless summer. You don't say later to the belly rubs or the games of fetch, because later is a country you'll both live to see. And when the end finally comes, it's not a tragedy cut short. It's a life completed, a promise kept, a childhood friend who stayed for the whole adventure. So, as the fire settles into embers tonight, I leave you with this. Would you want it? A lifetime with the dog who knows you better than anyone? Or is the brevity part of what makes them so unbearably precious? Drop your answer in the comments below. Like if this one tugged at the heartstrings. Subscribe for more fireside reckonings that stay with you long after the flames fade, and I'll see you next time around the fire, with or without our oldest friends by our side.